Hello everyone, my name is Fernando Gasca and I am a software engineer with the Curry development team. In this short video, we will go through how to perform manual event marking in the context of an epilepsy evaluation with the Curry software. Let's jump to Curry and take a look at the database in the left-hand side of the user interface. I will open the interictal EEG sample dataset and the scalp data study, which contains EEG with interictal spikes from the subject as well as the subject's MRI data. I will open this study and take a look at the waveforms in the functional data display. I will now apply a few processing steps for the better visualization of the EEG as well as the marking of the spikes. First, I will apply a baseline correction, which will effectively compute the average of each channel in the displayed page and subtract it from each sample. This for better visualization. After that, I will apply a re-referencing step, applying a common average reference to this data. The common average reference will do this for each sample. It will compute the average of all channels and subtract this value from each channel. The common average reference is also well suited for looking at topographical maps. It is good advice to display not only the EEG traces, but also the topographical maps by activating the functional data and maps display in the user interface when marking epileptic spikes, because not only are we looking at the traces, but also at the voltage distributions as the epileptic discharges occur. So let me go back to functional data and apply the third step of signal processing to our data, which will be simple filtering. I will choose to apply the user-defined auto filter, which applies a high pass of 1 Hz and a low pass of 30 Hz. So now I can go ahead and activate the Events tab in the left-hand side of the user interface and focus on this auto align functionality. If I open this control, I can see a channel selection box, which allows me to select a channel I want to focus on for the auto alignment. And from previously reviewing the file, I know that there are interesting epileptic spikes in the T7 channel. So I will choose this one. And I will also highlight the T7 channel in the functional data display by just hovering my mouse over the T7 label and using my mouse wheel to increase the scaling. If I now take a look, I have been able to highlight the T7 channel by applying a slightly different scaling, which will make it easier for me as I scroll to the data and mark spikes. So the process of marking spikes in Curry is very easy. We can move this functional data cursor by just clicking on it and placing it somewhere. And after that, we can use, when we want to mark a spike, we can use the keyboard numbers for marking different event types. And these event types are summarized in the functional data edit event annotations. So here we can see the different keys and what kind of annotation they will produce when we press these keys. So when I press the key 1, I will create a manual event 1 with the following annotation. So here we can, of course, change these annotations, but I will leave them as they are. And now I will go back to the auto align functionality. So what the auto alignment will do is that when I click somewhere near the peak in the T7 channel, the cursor will automatically jump to the peak. So I don't need to exactly click on the peak. I just need to click on the vicinity of it, and the auto alignment will snap the cursor to the maximum in the vicinity of plus minus 50 milliseconds. I can also improve the visualization by adjusting the page size, and I will do this right now. The page size is set to 10 seconds. I will set it to 5 seconds to be able to see the traces better. And now that we have explained how the auto align works, and we have highlighted the channel that we're interested in, we can start scrolling through the data. Before I do this, I will activate one last option by right-clicking somewhere in the functional data display and choose to use mouse wheel to scroll. And if I use my mouse wheel now, I can scroll through the data. And I can already see that this could be a spike, and indeed. So I will use the number 1 key in my keyboard, and this will create a manual 1 event with the annotation spike 1 at T7, which is the channel I chose for the auto alignment. I can keep scrolling and looking for spikes. Remember that we are looking for similar spikes which show negativity on the left side. So this is another spike. I will mark it and continue scrolling through the data, looking for similar spikes. Also, I see that I have already 5 spikes, and this is how we work ourselves through our data, marking the spikes. At any point, I can obtain an average of the spikes that I have marked by just pressing the average button. I can show a butterfly plot of this and also look at the resulting map from the average. So with this, I conclude this short video where I showed you how to perform manual event marking in the Query software. Thank you for your attention.